Morning, everyone. So I still clearly haven't got myself together after half term because normally I pre-record this on a Sunday and I'm all good to go for Monday, whereas this is actually Monday and it's really early and I'm pre-filming this ready to get it online for 9 o'clock. So, can you believe it is term six, the final term of the academic year, week one, and it is June. I last saw you in March. That is totally nuts. I can't get my head around the fact that it is now June and we have missed 2 entire months of this year being in lockdown. Now, obviously, today things start to change slightly, and I'm hoping that following all of the guidelines and the social distancing, that some more of you will be able to meet up. Remember, it's only up to 6, and you do need to make sure that you're still keeping that distance because I hope you're keeping abreast of the news and keeping your eye on that sort of stuff. But yeah, things are going to ease very slightly today, and we'll see how that all goes. So, I hope you had a really restful break. I know that I have not done very much work, and I'm so glad we've had the sunshine. It's been amazing this week to be able to sit in the garden and whatnot. I have to say, I would normally have been in the Lake District, and I probably would have been in Lake Coniston for most of this hot weather. So there has been a bit of a kind of wish that we could travel a bit more. But you know what? We've all had holiday plans cancelled. I'm sure loads of you were supposed to go places this week. So I hope that you've managed to make the most of it being at home, and at least we were able to get out and enjoy the sunshine. So I want to start with all the positives that you've sent me. I've had a really great time reading through them. It took me quite a long time last night getting through everybody's comments. So many of you still trying to keep up with all of the online stuff that's going on. Now, your positivity and your resourcefulness has really, really impressed me. I think that we could have one of the biggest opportunities that any group has ever had, actually. And I wanted to talk about something else that's really positive that's coming out of it. I wanted to kind of slide away from coronavirus just for a moment to talk about something else. Loads of you are really into worrying about the climate and worrying about the environment. I know a lot of you have been inspired by Greta Thunberg as you've been coming up through the latter years of primary school. And I know that a number of you were involved in our environmental club at school. And I know that lots of people, when we were talking about charities and things to try and do around the school, was connected to the environment. And a couple of you have mentioned this week when you sent me your messages that one of the great things that you feel has come out of this lockdown is that we actually have some empirical data now on what would happen if we stopped using cars or if we stopped flying. We stopped 97% of flights, and now we have that data and we can actually see the impact of the CO2 that we're making. So actually that is something which will last into the next generation of trying to figure out our renewable energy. I wanted to mention one other thing to you that I read this week. It's from a magazine that I get. It's called The Week. It's so I don't have to read all the newspapers from everywhere. It's got all the news from everywhere, including world news. And this one is from Europe. And one thing I didn't know was that the creative director of Gucci has declared that the ritual of launching 5 couture seasons every single year is worn out and unsustainable, and in the future they're only going to hold 2 seasonless shows a year, down from 5. And the reason for that was the thing that really caught my eye. So Alessandro Michel, he said that it's a potentially revolutionary decision and that the industry has become excessive. We've usurped nature, we dominated and wounded it, we incited Prometheus and buried Pan. And if you've done your English work from Greek mythology before, you'll know what that means. And he said so much outrageous greed made us lose the harmony and the care and the connection and the belonging. So the reason that they are dropping from 5 seasons to 2 seasonless ones is because he feels that it's just excessive waste. And that's from Gucci. So I'm kind of pleased to see that these big fashion labels, who are incredibly wasteful, are starting to see that things need to change. So maybe other people will follow their lead and other companies will as well. So, things I want to talk about. You guys, what have you been up to? Now, I think a lot of you actually took the week off, even from telling me stuff. A lot of you just clicked, yeah, I've seen that, seen your video, miss, nice. You got to get back on it now, okay? So, there's been loads of puppies and stuff, so I'm quite excited about that. Theo Hayes sent me a picture of his new puppy. It looked like a dachshund, and he's called it Slinky. I have to say, when I first read it, I thought it said Stinky, which I thought was hilarious, because I used to have a friend with a dog called Stinky. It was a big Rottweiler. It's not. It's called Slinky, because it's from Toy Story 4, and that's just amazing. And he's so cute. And I probably need to get my glasses tested so that I can actually read on the screen better. Sorry about that, Theo. It's also been his mum's birthday, been doing loads of baking. I've got to say, you are all still baking and cooking. And now then, someone did a come dine with me and was making Greek dishes. How good is that as an idea? Do a come dine with me and your family and take it in turns to make meals. I think that was Finn. I'll come to that in a minute. Okay, so talking about dogs. Oliver was telling me about his dog. He got a puppy a couple of weeks ago, and he described it as an emotional roller coaster and having to get up at 4 a.m. with the puppy. Like, dogs are hard work, but it sounds amazing. I'm sure I read on Jasmine Burford, that you have 8 dogs. You need to come back to me and see whether I was just misreading that as well, because clearly I've been all over the place. But you seem to have a lot of dogs, and I need to know more about this. So Edward Scott has been running and cycling a lot. Like, he is out there and he's doing it, and there's loads of you cycling, actually. I want to mention this one because I need more of you to tell me about this as well. So James Knapp has taken part in the Road to Wembley, which I had not heard of, and apparently it's Welton FC's lockdown challenge. Each team has 3 days between the 23rd and the 25th of May to walk, run or cycle 145 miles, which is apparently the distance from Manor Park to Wembley Stadium in London. And James actually cycled about 20 miles in aid of St Barnabas Hospice. So apparently quite a lot of you have been doing this. Please tell me about it. What have you been doing and how have you been contributing? Cole was telling me that they've got a 10-foot pool that they'd set up in their garden for this week, so I'm really jealous of that. That sounds fantastic. Eleanor's been making ice cream. Loads of you were talking about the clap for carers, and obviously a lot of the media outlets were saying that last week was going to be the last one, finish on a high, maybe it can become something else, so who knows if it's going to happen this week. I suspect it will, because I think people will still like to get out and talk to their neighbours, but Ethan was telling me that he goes out for the clap for carers and he plays his saxophone. Someone else was saying they play the clarinet, other people are saying they go out and sing. I think Camille was saying she goes out and sings. Just sounds fantastic, and I really hope out of it you've actually maybe got to know your neighbours a little bit better. I know we have on our street. It's really lovely. I got a couple of people have been a bit like the hula hooping from a couple of weeks ago, learnt some slightly random skills, but Lily Bratty's been telling me she can do a forward walkover, and I love how she wrote that like I would know what that meant. I mean, it's also her birthday, so I have a birthday to Lily, and I'm sure I've missed all the birthdays. I haven't really thought about birthdays at all. A lot of you have been telling me about your parents, but you know, if you've had a birthday or have got a birthday coming up, do let me know. And Emily Brownrigg's been trampolining and has taught herself to do the swivel hips in both directions without a bounce in between. Now, I actually do trampolining, so I get what that means. She made me laugh as well. She said that she's also made it a kind of national sport of how to annoy her brother, which I think is probably something you've probably all perfected in lockdown also. Lloyd's been telling me that he's got a full-on afro right now, which is ace. Looking forward to seeing that when we get back. Amber has started her own baking YouTube channel. Amazing, very enterprising. That's really good. Joel has learned to play the piano, and he sent me a little video of him playing on like an electric piano thing, which is awesome. Tilly Hooton's been baking every Sunday for St Barnabas Hospice. Her dad works there, and they've been working really hard, so she bakes every Sunday, and her dad takes them in on the Monday, which is amazing. So well done for that. I've got some more bikers. Where have they gone? So Harry Kirkland been baking and biking. And Daniel Roebuck's been doing loads of biking as well, and he's seen loads of animals. I'm really interested in the animal thing this week, I think. So he's seen like deers, foxes, hares, partridges, loads of stuff, so that's really cool. And you're all going really far on your bikes. I don't think I could get to the end of the road on my bike. I'm very impressed. What else has been going on? I think that's it really. Oh no, that's it. And somebody sent me a picture of their bunnies. I think it was Sophie. One's called Chompster, and if I ever get a rabbit, I'm calling it Chompster. I'm nicking that name, so I thought it was a really, really good name. And people are just saying that they're appreciating their families a lot more. You know, people have been doing Star Wars marathons with their families, and actually appreciating them all having to be together. And actually, this lockdown has proved that hanging out with your family is not really that bad. And I think that's got to be a good thing that comes out of it. So, last thing I want to end on is that I know this term's going to be really tough. I'm running out of time on my phone because I got too much stuff on it. This term is going to be really hard. The novelty has worn off big time for all of us, teachers included. We've all had to have Zoom meetings to talk about what the curriculum's going to be for this term, and it's not been as easy as it was perhaps that first term. However, it's really, really important that we all dig deep. Okay, we've got to really dig deep, and we've got to push through this term. Push through each day. Just do each day as it comes, and the days will turn into weeks, and the weeks will turn into the term, and that will be it. You can't give up now. This is a long term. It's 7 weeks, and we've really got to give it everything that we've got. Okay, the weather is nice. You need to balance your time, but you do need to keep on top of your work. Okay, go core subjects first, pick another subject, follow the timetable if that's how you like to work, go back to that timetable that was sent out at the beginning of last term after Easter holidays. But you can't stop now. Okay, I can't stop, you guys can't stop. It's very easy to dwell on the negatives, the things that we're missing out on, things we're not doing this term, but actually we've still got this great community, and when we come back, we need to make sure that we've done as much as we can and made the most of this time. Okay, so keep doing your enrichment activities, but stay as much on track with your VLE as you possibly can. And if you have any major problems, just message your teacher. If you can't do a project, if it's been too big and you haven't managed your time properly, message the teacher and tell them. Okay? So listen, guys, have a really good week and send me anything you want. Just tell me what you've been doing. Okay, bye.